What is the number one reason why many people are attracted or why they feel some kind of pull towards the dark arts? Why do people get interested in things like black magic, witchcraft, or its lesser form called white magic, which is still magic? Why are people growing in interest in occult things? If you would ask them, some would give silly answers just to appear popular, especially if they're youngsters. They will say things like they want to be like Harry Potter, or they would say that some feminist phrase like women have power too. But if you really go down to it, it's not because people have an interest in evil that they show interest in the dark arts. Now, there are some who are just reprobates who want to dive into darkness. They're out of their mind. You have such folks. But most of the people that gain an interest into the occult, into the, I would say, the paranormal, they're not interested in evil spirits. They're not interested in harming others. They're not interested in blood sacrifices, blood rituals. They're not interested in anything negative. What is the number one reason why people develop an interest in the paranormal? I'll tell you why. They want instant ways out. I don't call it an instant solution because it's not a solution, because the paranormal has no solutions. The paranormal works in an instant. Shifts happen in an instant when you work with the paranormal. And worldly people perceive those instant manifestations as solutions. So most people develop an interest in the paranormal because they want quick fixes. It's quick fixes that people are looking for. And when you are looking for quick fixes, the paranormal becomes very attractive. Let me give an example. You could be someone that grew up in a ghetto. It doesn't have to be a black ghetto from the United States. It can be a white ghetto, Chinese ghetto. Anyway, you're from a ghetto. Your family has a bad credit score. And because of that, you're not able to attend college. So when you want to start your own business, when you have ambitions, people don't take you seriously. First, though, to your background, where you're from the ghetto. Secondly, your parents have a bad credit score. Thirdly, even though you don't have a bad credit score, you don't have the connections into the business world. But you don't want to be stuck with the ghetto either. But you can't force people to give you a job. You can only apply for a job and hope people give you a job. But then you encounter this guy in his 30s who has his own penthouse in Dubai. He's a very successful businessman. But then you find out that he is from a worse ghetto than the ghetto you grew up in. And then you contact him and ask them how he got so far. And first he tells you through email you have to work hard, this and that. But you keep pressing on because you feel like there's something he's not telling you. And then he will invite you to a meeting. At the meeting you meet other people from the business world. And then the guy takes you apart and tells you, let's say your name is Jack. Jack, you want to know how I got this far? You say yes. Well, I did some juju. You should think, what is juju? He tells you it's black magic. When women do it, it's witchcraft. When a man does it, it's black magic. But then you tell him, let's say you're Jack, and you tell him, but those things don't really exist. And then the guy tells you, Jack, you've encountered much difficulty when finding a job due to your background. I'm from a worse background than you. And look at where I am today. You seriously think I achieved this by hard work? By kissing people's ass? You think that? And then you think, well, obviously not. And then the guy tells you, listen, in this world, there are only two sources of power. Actually, one. One is when you're serving Christ, and the second is an alternative where you're not serving Christ. I'm not serving Christ, so that's why I have the paranormal. And I have a paranormal cover. That's why nobody robs me. That's why no scam artist scams me. And that's why all these people here with their prejudices leave me alone. That's why I'm left at ease. Without any power on your behalf, you'll end up having to, well, I'm going to say it politely now. You have to slime with people. You'll end up having to beg people and just hope that they'll look after you. That's how it goes in this world. If you have no leverage, people take advantage of you. If you have no leverage, you're not important. People don't even consider you. So, what is it going to be? If you want to hook up with me in the business world, then you know that you need to be involved in the paranormal. And then Jack thinks, you know what, let me think about this. Jack goes home. Jack thinks, you know what? I don't want to spend my life being drained at a 9-to-5 job. I don't want to spend my life always having to hope for the best, but never being able to expect anything. I want to have some grip on life circumstances. And that's a good motivation. And then Jack thinks, you know what? Let me try that paranormal thing. He does some money ritual at home. And within a week, people he hadn't seen for years suddenly see him and they just hand him out some cash. They don't even know why they're doing it, but just hand out cash to him. And within that week, he had over $800 cash. Normally, he has to work a whole month to get $800. Now he had it within a week. And he realized, what? Within a week, $800? Let me do more of this paranormal thing. Very soon, he's flying first class all over the world, going on expensive holidays. And people around him think, how does Jack do that? 2 years ago, he was just a guy from the hood. Nobody even bothered with him, and look at him now. They check his Instagram profile and they see him with all those attractive women on pictures. He gets many likes, so things are going very great. But then the black magic works out. And now all the anger, all the violence against Jack that was held back by the paranormal wall now floods him. Now he loses everything and even ends up in jail. Even though he didn't commit a crime, he didn't rob nor scam anyone, he now ends up in jail because the people he was involved with were scam artists. So though the association, they now also prosecute him to make an example out of him. What happened here? When Jack wants to get rid of the financial and economic stagnation of his background, in the natural, he had no option to get rid of it. He wanted a quick fix. He wanted things to just happen. He didn't want to go through anything. He didn't want any process. He just wanted things to just happen, to get over with this stuff. And that attitude of his trapped him into the false promises of demons. He was realistic, realizing that, okay, I need some help to get out of here. And he was realistic when he realized, okay, that other business guy who's from a worse background than I am, how he got so far? It's not due to hard work, nor by seeking approval from others. He was practical, but he didn't look at the bigger picture. He was short-sighted. There are many people I've encountered, young folks, men and women. They're in university, they graduated, some didn't attend university, they got a job after high school immediately. They developed an interest in the paranormal. You saw them walking around with books, you saw them posting quotes by witches and warlocks on their Facebook pages and all of that. I mean, look at them carefully. They want things to just happen like that. And often things just happen like that. Indeed. And when things happen just like that, they think, oh, it's over. They are relieved. And That is the trap of the enemy. Because think about the parable I just gave onto you of this Jack who used black magic to get financial boosts. He did not consider that by him having all that money to spend, that people going to notice he has more to spend. He did not consider when people see him spending a lot of money, people going to ask where did he get the money from? And when people see that the money comes through legal means, so it's not through selling drugs, anything like that, people are going to think, okay, if he gets the money legally where people donate to him, or if he gets job offers, why is it that he gets the opportunities all the time? What does he have that he gets all these opportunities? So people became frustrated. And Jack didn't realize that by having all that money to spend, he will be triggering envy, rage, and homicidal anger in other people. And he didn't realize that by him spending all that money publicly, he would get attention, but he would get wrong attention. He would get attention from criminals and people that sponsor and finance terrorism. So he got the wrong crowd around him because he had a lot to spend. So those were all the side effects the paranormal brought with it. But he didn't notice nor consider those side effects. And that is the trap of the paranormal. You have instant shifts in circumstances very quickly, and that is what attracts people. People in the world don't want to hear that you have to go through years or maybe a decade of recovery. They don't want that. They want things to happen in days or within 2-3 weeks. They want things to happen swiftly. And that's understandable because world people think in their mind, oh, I'm getting older, I'm not getting younger, so I want things to happen swiftly. But those swift shifts are seldom a blessing. Let me repeat that. Those swift shifts are seldom a blessing. Those swift shifts always come with side effects. It's the same as taking a pill just to feel better. You will feel better, but that pill is a drug that you took in your body. You took some chemicals that influence your hormones, but those chemicals will have an effect on your hormones. So maybe you took a pill to feel good, okay? But later you're quite sleepy because those pills now drained you of your body's energy. So there are side effects. When it comes to medical prescriptions, there are always side effects. Every medical professional will tell you this. Now, when it comes to the paranormal, there are always side effects that are toxic. So that is why a lot of folks end up trapped in the paranormal. And they don't realize they're trapped. It can be they see a young woman. She's 17. She looks happy. But she wants a grip on life circumstances. Because she's frightened of the idea of becoming an adult and people just profaning you as if, okay, people don't look at you anymore. Because don't get things twisted. A lot of young folks see how the world is and how worldly people trap you when they don't need you or they can't benefit from you anymore. So she wants to have some grip on life circumstances. So she ends up reading some witchy books with witchcraft doctrines in it. And she begins to practice them. Then you see she changes her clothes. Now she's dressing in a provoking way just to use sex magic. Within 4 years, her attitudes changed. She's now more static and she's now more paranoid. But she has a well-paying job. She has a group of female friends that follow her all over the place, also through witchcraft. She used a spell to get those friends. So things are working out for her. But it has a detrimental effect on her mental health. And when she's 29, she's collapsing. She has a burnout. She's been working too much. She's been controlling too much, so that affected her mental health also. So what happened here? She got swift shifts. But those swift shifts came with a price that she was not able nor willing to pay. She was too short-sighted to even consider the side effects. Now those side effects would have after effects that would affect her in the long run. So believer, I don't know what it is you're going through now or what it is you just want to be over with. Shifts is what we want. Shifts. Seldom do we want change, because change begins internally. Now, believers should long for change, not for shifts, because once change happens, you don't need shifts. A change is when something has been altered from the inside, and therefore the outside will reflect what has changed on the inside. So with a change, something has altered on the inside, and because that, the outworking will be different because something has been altered. A shift is when a symptom has been repressed, and because the symptom is repressed, you now have ease. An example, you have an headache. Okay, and you take a paracetamol. The headache is gone. That's a shift. The symptom is repressed. And because you don't have the headache anymore, you can move your head, you can do all of that. A change would be, you go to the hospital, they perform some scans and some tests, and they see, there's a tumor here in his chest. And the tumor is pressing one of the nerves, and that's why you had a headache. So now you realize that the headache wasn't about your head. It was about something in your chest. And the thing in your chest it's lethal. So now you realize you need to perform a surgery to remove the infection. And then you recover from the surgery. And after that, there's no headache anymore, but there's also no danger anymore. So that's a change. Too often, we long for a shift instead of a change. And that's why believers need to be renewed in their mind, because we ought to focus on change. We ought to focus on alterations that will be beneficial in the long run and that will be permanent. Instead, often, we look for a way out to get ease. And by doing that, you repress the symptoms of a situation, but you don't deal with the root of the situation. You don't have to deal with the situation, you deal with the root of the situation, then you don't even have to bother with the situation anymore. Because once you have dealt with the root of the situation will dissolve. So, are you longing for a change, or are you seeking a shift? Do you want deliverance, or are you just seeking relief? What is it? That's something you need to answer for yourself. Be at peace.